Hello and welcome to the 2021 Pro Bono Week as organized by the Public Interest Law Partnership, the PILP. Over the years, the PILP has organized the annual Pro Bono Week. For the very first time, the Pro Bono Week this year will be virtual, which is in line with the theme for this year's event, which is digitization of access to justice. Let's take a moment to observe the national anthem. The activities of the 2021 Pro Bono Week would focus on a wide range of issues bordering on access to justice. Other key features of the Pro Bono Week includes seminars, virtual legal clinics, and the launch of the online portal, which would match beneficiaries and lawyers offering pro bono service, making it easier and faster for the marginalized people in our society to have access to justice. We will take the welcome address by the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Public Interest Law Partnership, the PILP, Senator Daisy Danjuma, who is also the Executive Vice Chairman of the South Atlantic Petroleum Limited, SAPETRO, a legal practitioner and someone who is very passionate about access to justice. Thank you.
The 2021 edition of the PILP Pro Bono Week is scheduled to take place from April 13 to 15, 2021. We have a very distinguished lineup of speakers and panelists, including His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, SAN, Senator Daisy Danjuma, the Chief Judge of Lagos State, Honorable Justice Kazim Alogba, President of the Nigerian Association, Mr. Olumide Akbata, and many more. This year's event will focus on a wide variety of topical issues in the pro bono space. We will be launching our online Access to Justice portal, and our awards night will celebrate our most dedicated pro bono partners. To find out more information, please visit the link in our bio or pilp.ng.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure as the chairman of the Board of Trustees to welcome you all to the 2021 edition of the Public Interest Law Partnerships Pro Bono Week. As many of you watching may already know, the PILP was conceived in 2012 by the Lagos State Government to explore alternatives to state-funded legal aid agencies through a public-private partnership aimed at bridging the gap in access to justice. As an NGO with a unique collaborative structure, we have adopted a multifaceted approach by facilitating strong and effective partnerships between the government, the Nigerian Bar, academic institutions, faith-based institutions, as well as other critical stakeholders. Over the years, we have worked with a cross-section of stakeholders through a number of core intervention strategies to achieve our objectives. Our clearinghouse, which is a one-stop center where beneficiaries underserved by a public system are matched with PILP's registered pro bono counsel, currently boasts of a growing network of over 200 partners, law firms, and NGOs. We are proud of the impact we have had, which is best reflected in the number of people provided with quality legal help in criminal and civil suits, over 3,000 to date. Our pro bono services range from offering criminal defense to indigent awaiting trials, inmates, labor law disputes, landlord and tenancy matters, matrimonial causes proceedings, sexual and gender-based violence, amongst many others. We also organize several public interest projects aimed at amplifying the development of a pro bono culture in the country. And just last year, we presented some of our ongoing projects to His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State. We are profoundly grateful for his support in the development of technology solutions to aid the effective running of our operations. In this peculiar time, we are currently living in where access to justice is even more limited as a result of the global pandemic. We are even more aware of the need for technology to help us reach those who are most vulnerable and in need of our services. We look, therefore, towards launching our online access to justice portal at the end of the Pro Bono Week, and we are thankful to the other state governments who have shown interest in forging partnership with us. We welcome your support. As you tune in to this year's event, we hope you will learn more about many of the new developments in this field from the distinguished lineup of speakers we have, and also from some of our partners organizations doing impactful work in the access to justice space. We will also share some of the projects we have undertaken, including a collaborative restorative justice project at the Nigerian Correctional Center, which is aimed at educating and rehabilitating inmates before they re-enter the open society. At the end of the week, we will also be celebrating some of our partners who have distinguished themselves by sacrificing a lot of their time and efforts towards providing free legal services to pro bono applicants. There will be free legal clinics tomorrow for the general public, thanks to a number of our partner law firms who have agreed to provide legal advice through virtual means. I implore you all to share this information to those you know and may need the service. They can sign up through our PILP.ng website. I repeat, they can sign up through our PLP.ng website or any of our special media platforms. Small business owners will also receive free legal advice on the basics but fundamental information that every Nigerian business owner should be aware of in order to stay within the law. And very importantly, there will be a session today by the very experienced specialists in their fields on how to assess justice for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence. I hope that through these discussions, we are not only able to highlight some of the obstacles faced in the delivery of pro bono services, but that we gain new perspectives on how to implement the solutions to the problems. I would like to take this opportunity to once again express my sincere appreciation to all our partners and those of you tuning in today for your interest in joining hands with us towards realizing a more just and equitable society. I thank the PILP team for working tirelessly to put this event together, and without further ado, I hereby declare the 2021 PILP Pro Bono Week open. Once again, I warmly welcome you all, and I wish you a fruitful, interesting, and productive Pro Bono Week. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
That was a very interesting and insightful welcome address by the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Public Interest Law Partnership. The 2021 Pro Bono Week promises to be exciting and educating. Thank you to our amiable chairman for that wonderful welcome address. We have learned that the PILP's clearinghouse, a one-stop center where beneficiaries underserved by public systems are matched with PILP's registered pro bono counsel, with a wide network of over 200 partner law firms and NGOs. It is great to know that His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, has deployed technology solutions to aid the effective running of the PILP's operations. Thank you very much, our chairman.
We are all equal under the eyes of the law, and our justice system must apply to all without bias. Thus, access to justice by marginalized and disadvantaged parties who have meritorious legal problems is not a privilege, but a right. However, in Nigeria, poverty levels remain high, and a large number of people fail to receive the full protection of the law because they cannot afford legal counsel when needed. The Lagos Public Interest Law Partnership was envisioned by the Lagos State Government in November 2012 as an opportunity to explore alternatives to government-funded agencies by facilitating a mutually beneficial partnership between all stakeholders involved in the provision of pro bono legal services. A number of state-funded initiatives exist, all of which provide free legal aid to indigent persons. However, the government can only do so much, as various needs assessment studies have shown the strain on our legal system. A variety of sources lend credence to the fundamental importance of adequate and effective access to justice in Nigeria. The Nigerian Bar Association adopted a pro bono declaration which stated that members have a responsibility to provide pro bono legal services. This stems from the profession's role and purpose in society and from its implicit commitment to a fair and equitable legal system. Law faculties and law schools in the country, having regard to the inclusion of clinical studies in their curricula, are also encouraged to carry out pro bono work. Since its establishment in 2012, LPILP's goal has been to expand access to justice through a collaborative platform aimed at bridging the justice gap while reducing the burden on the government by complementing its efforts. The organization is registered as an NGO and relies on generous funding from private, corporate, government, and international benefactors to accomplish its objectives of delivering free legal services to needy litigants, both within and outside the country. A manual was drafted to serve as a guideline for the operation of the scheme, and it provides the expected roles of the following stakeholders in the area of pro bono legal services. We have adopted a multifaceted approach by facilitating a strong and effective public-private partnership with a cross-section of stakeholders through two core intervention strategies. We provide pro bono legal services through an innovative and efficient delivery model known as the Clearinghouse. Since 2012, the One Stop Center has provided a referral service that links experienced lawyers with eligible pro bono clients. The collaborative model means that we partner with other clearinghouses, both locally and internationally. Pro bono services range from offering criminal defense, assisting with matrimonial court proceedings, protecting survivors of domestic violence, child defilement, and child custody matters, land matters, wrongful termination suits, landlord and tenancy disputes, amongst others. Pro bono beneficiaries include vulnerable groups, and the scheme partners with organizations which promote the welfare of women, children, and people with disabilities. Cases are referred to the Clearinghouse from various sources, including working clients. With the digitization of our clearinghouse, we aim to ensure that access to justice is within the reach of every resident of the country, irrespective of his or her geographical location and financial means. Our stakeholders all across the country are able to create online digital accounts through which they can efficiently increase the impact of their pro bono services while having access to quick and easy public interest services. To register as a pro bono partner, select the Get Involved button and follow the instructions to sign up. We inspire lawyers through special public interest projects. A sampling of these projects include stakeholder conferences, legal clinics, a multidisciplinary restorative justice project, and our flagship annual Pro Bono Week, during which we organize several events aimed at securing an even stronger base of support throughout Nigeria. To learn more about how you can join us in facilitating and sustaining pro bono partnerships, please contact us.
There will be a free legal clinic. That's right, free legal advice will be given on Wednesday by some of our experienced pro bono partners. To sign up, For the clinic, visit pilp.ng/help. To register for the Pro Bono Week and to find out more information, please visit the link in our bio or pilp.ng.
You would agree with me that the opening remark was quite interesting. Next on our agenda is a keynote address titled The Importance of Access to Justice in Nation Building by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, SAN. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, will be ably represented today by the distinguished Deputy Chief of Staff to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Ade Ikpaye, who incidentally was the Honorable Attorney General of Lagos State, under which the PILP was conceived. I am sure we are all looking forward to what I believe will be a most illuminating address. Thank you.
My Lord, the Chief Judge of Lagos State, Honorable Justice Kazeem Alogba, President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Olumide Apata, Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Ministry of Justice, Mrs. Titilayo Shitabe, our Chief Host, Chairman of the Public Interest Law Partnership, who is also the Executive Vice Chairman of SAPETRO, Distinguished Senator Daisy Danjuma, other members of the PILP, including my brother, Professor Lanre Fagbom, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Alex Moka, Mr. Ahmed Adetola Kazim, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm exceptionally privileged to deliver this keynote address on behalf of His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, my great predecessor in the office of the Attorney General of Lagos State, and in the quest for inclusion in the justice system through free legal assistance to the less privileged in our society. Unfortunately, the Vice President is unable to join us today in view of his other very urgent national assignments, but he has asked me to stand in for him and to give his apologies and best regards to this very distinguished audience. I will now present His Excellency's keynote address. Let me start by thanking the board of the Public Interest Law Partnership for inviting me to this very important event. I'm indeed very pleased to deliver the keynote address marking the commencement of the year 2021 Pro Bono Week today. This is partly because the PILP is a product of the pioneering work of the Office of the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Lagos State, an office which I was privileged to occupy about 2 decades ago. In many ways, Lagos State is a pace setter, and this is especially true in the area of justice administration. Following in the tradition of the Office of the Public Defender, which was established during my tenure, the Public Interest Law Partnership came eventually in November 2012 as Nigeria's first and foremost public interest law partnership. Even though instigated by the Office of the Attorney General, it was designed to function as a private sector-led effort to advance the cause of justice, and I am happy to note it has evolved to fulfill that role, establishing in the process a highly successful pro bono clearinghouse. As is apparent here today, the PILP Pro Bono Week has become a point of convergence for lawyers and non-lawyers interested in access to justice and willing to provide that access for free. The need for pro bono services in justice delivery cannot be overemphasized. Clearly, the spirit of the legal profession lies in exalting justice through passionate client representation above possible material gains of the lawyer. This is why no one can be conferred with the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria without showing proof of pro bono work. The Legal Aid Council, the various state offices of the Public Defender, and the personal effort of several selfless legal practitioners across the country have no doubt resulted in a significant improvement of access to justice for indigent persons in our society. However, we are yet to achieve our mark. To rapidly widen the scope and breadth of service, we certainly need large private sector-led efforts of the type offered by the PILP. Considering the income inequalities and social frictions in our society, we need all hands on deck to ensure that no man or woman suffers injustice on account of our inability to afford the services of a lawyer. A 2018 study by the Hague Institute for Innovation of Law showed, among other things, that legal aid was not yet feasible in Nigeria. While that summary might seem drastic, we must of course remember the sheer size of our country and the fact that most of our public and professional services are based in the state capitals and other major cities. Meanwhile, millions of our compatriots remain in remote areas where they can hardly even contemplate the possibility of legal assistance. The same study of the Hague Institute also found that 1. Only 2 out of 10 Nigerians engage formal institutions to solve their problems. While the police is most used, courts and lawyers are rarely used. 2. Low-income earners are 2 times less likely to engage courts, that is 4% as compared to 8%, and more than 3 times less likely to engage lawyers than high-income earners. The poor are more likely to have their legal disputes unresolved compared with richer groups in our society. Moreover, on average, the chances of obtaining an outcome increase in line with income levels. Richer people have access to more effective dispute resolution mechanisms. And for poor women, the ratio of completely resolved disputes is nearly half that of high-income women. It is statistics like these that highlight the value of the work done by organizations like the PILP. We come to a clear and sobering realization that a large majority of Nigerians cannot afford legal services, yet they regularly have the need to engage the formal justice system. We are therefore extremely grateful to all the partner law firms, organizations, and government agencies that have signed up to give more of our people a fighting chance in their quest for justice. Access to justice means different things to different people, but for the ordinary Nigerian man, it means that he has a way to enforce his rights and get justice even in his business or money disputes. It means that a woman who suffers domestic abuse in the hands of her spouse or partner is able to invoke the strong arms of the law for protection and for punishment of the abuser. It means that justice is delivered freely, fairly, and fast. There may be no jurisdiction anywhere in the world that has fully attained these ideals, but we must all keep striving. Can the progress be faster? Yes, but we all must also learn to appreciate how far we have come, while sustaining determination to go further. If I were to describe the decade 2011 to 2021 in terms of access to justice, I would call it a decade of lawmaking. We have seen several laws passed with the aim of improving the criminal justice system and enabling better access to justice. In 2011, a new Legal Aid Act came into force. In 2015, we got the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. That same year, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act was enacted. Interestingly, the law was passed 4 years after Lagos State had enacted its own Criminal Justice Administration law. This law, in essence, achieved a radical reform of the criminal justice system, modernizing its outlook, making it better targeted towards the attainment of justice for victims. Thankfully, as of today, 30 states of the Federation have already passed their administration of criminal justice laws, including those that enacted the law even before the federal law. In August 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari also signed the Nigerian Correctional Service Bill into law. Aside the obvious changes of name from Nigerian Prison Service to Nigerian Correctional Service, there are several other significant developments brought about by that legislation. The Correctional Service is now divided into two main areas, viz. The custodial service and the non-custodial service, the latter being responsible for the administration of non-custodial punishments. Most importantly, the law focuses on the correctional service as a place for the reformation and rehabilitation of offenders. Among other things, it also empowers the service to initiate behavior modification in inmates through the provision of medical, psychological, spiritual, and counseling services for all offenders. In September 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law a Nigeria Police Reform Bill, which addresses several issues affecting policing in Nigeria, including arrest and prosecutorial powers of the police and the concept of community policing. For instance, it now makes clear that the police cannot arrest any person in respect of civil wrongs, like a mere breach of contract. Considered together, all these laws are, to all intents and purposes, enacted towards giving Nigerians better access to justice and generally improving the justice system. Now that we have all these laws in place, we must focus on implementing them. This is the only way we can gradually attain the justice system of our dreams. Better access to justice will, of course, promote peaceful coexistence in our communities. It will ensure fairness and trust. Building a nation entails sacrifices on the part of the various peoples in that nation. And sacrifices are, of course, easier to make in an atmosphere of trust. With rapidly improving technology, I dare say the future is even brighter for justice administration in Nigeria. I think in this regard, we can learn a thing or two from our financial system. Financial inclusion in Nigeria has come a long way from the time when owning a bank account was essentially a luxury due to the attendant costs and inconveniences, to this day when just about anyone can literally open a bank account on their phones, even without walking into a banking hall. In fact, today, one can essentially send and receive money within Nigeria at a very low rate without even having a bank account. It may appear quite hard, if not impossible at the moment, to give every Nigerian access to justice based on our brick and mortar institutions. But I think the future is exceedingly bright. The COVID-19 pandemic has revealed to us the weaknesses of our traditional justice systems, whilst also pointing us to some solutions. Where courts were unable to sit because of the social distancing requirements, it meant that commercial disputes would linger, awaiting trial inmates would stay longer in prison, and the hearing of civil disputes would equally be stalled. But we saw some courts adapting and adopting virtuous tools for hearings, which in my view is a clear pointer to the possibilities that the future offers. We must also learn from the incidents that played out in October 2020, when some courts in Lagos State were vandalized and burnt alongside court records. Correctional facilities in Lagos and Benin were also affected, with inmates actually escaping in Benin. Sadly, a similar incident occurred recently in Imo State. All these are pointers to the need for digitization and remote storage of our court and prison records. In my view, if we are able to take full advantage of technology, we can radically improve access to justice, lower administrative costs, and even enhance reliability and convenience. As in tech or financial sector, we must focus very hard on goal setting, innovation, and data to drive access to justice. What is the exclusion rate? Where do we want to be in 5 years? How can we leverage technology to get there? One often overlooked aspect of access to justice is the role of information sharing, and this can also be radically improved by technology. For example, more than ever before, there is an increased drive to ensure that women who are victims of domestic and sexual violence get justice. The sad reality, however, is that many women are not even aware. We are therefore in need of justice evangelists who will go and tell potential victims in their compounds and communities that no woman should suffer abuse in any of our homes, that no young girl, and in fact no woman of any age, should stay in silence and suffer in the hands of any abuser. At the same time, the records of known abusers and convicted sex offenders must be publicized for deterrence and to warn other potential victims. All these are made increasingly easier by technology. It is, of course, not enough to have justice solutions, good laws, a functional judiciary, the police, etc. It is very important that the citizens are made aware of the available solutions. We must therefore enlist our religions and social leaders. Very often, these are the institutions people turn to first when they have potential legal problems. We must also deploy technology for this purpose, as there are ready tools which can propagate the message with unparalleled ease. I therefore applaud the PILP as it continues to develop a functional platform that aims to ensure even greater access to justice for every resident of our country, irrespective of his or her geographical location and financial means. With the vast and widespread network of partner law firms across the country, there is no doubt that an increasingly large number of our citizenry will continue to benefit from this great partnership. I therefore call on you all today to sustain support for this important initiative so that we can collectively improve and develop our nation. I thank you all for your presence here today as I look forward to the long-term impact of the Pro Bono Week event. Thank you and God bless.
You would agree with me that that was a very interesting address on the importance of access to justice in nation building. That was a very insightful speech by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A very important point to note from that speech is that as a nation, we need to be patient with the existing systems as we currently are in the implementation phase. His Excellency said that the 2011 to 2020 decade, in terms of access to justice, was a law-making phase with several laws passed in order to improve the criminal justice system, like the Legal Aid Act and the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. And for these laws to have effect, the states have to pass a law with similar provisions. We are happy to know that 30 states in Nigeria have passed the Administration of Criminal Justice Law. It is safe to say that all these laws were enacted towards giving Nigerians better access to justice. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, sir, for that beautiful speech.
The Lagos Public Interest Law Partnership was envisioned by the Lagos State Government in November 2012 as an opportunity to explore alternatives to government-funded agencies by facilitating a mutually beneficial partnership between all stakeholders involved in the provision of pro bono legal services. Since 2012, the One Stop Center has provided a referral service that links experienced lawyers with eligible pro bono clients.
Free legal clinic. That's right, free legal advice will be given on Wednesday by some of our experienced pro bono partners. To sign up for the clinic, visit pilp.ng/help. To register for the Pro Bono Week and to find out more information, please visit the link in our bio or pilp.ng.